Okay, we will get started, okay? So last time we talked about array, and before we talk about array, we talk about the program structure, and before the program structure, we talk about the primitive data type, okay? So today we are going to talk about object, and the JavaScript language, the basic part will be finished, okay? But before we get started with object, first thing I would like to talk about is you must have a concept. This concept is in Python language. Let me make it wider. Okay, in Python and JavaScript language, both these languages, everything is object. Okay, I'll explain this one, but just remember in Python language and in JavaScript language, these two languages, everything is object. Okay, so today we are going to talk about object, and you need to understand what is an object and why here we say that the Python and the JavaScript is object. So first, primitive data type. So primitive data type is that when you have a equals 3, you basically store a value of 3 in the variable a. So you have an a, you store 3 in there. So we call this one a primitive data type. But this primitive data type actually, it is also a object. Okay. So a object has the data. This is the data, and it also has some function associated with the object. So you can actually do this. You can do. You can have a function of a.toString. Then you convert this data a to a string. Okay, so these are primitive data type. Primitive data type, we have number, we have string, we have Boolean value. They are all primitive data types. And these different primitive data types, they have their functions, okay? But these are primitive data types. But today we are not going to talk about this primitive data type. We are going to talk about compound data types. So today we are going to talk about compound data type. So primitive data type is that you have a data of number, Boolean, or a string. You already know the type. Okay, so compound is different. Compound is like you have variable a equals 1, 2, 3. So you have an array. So this one is not a single data, it's a 3 data. And then you have A0 equals 1, A1 equals 2, A2 equals 3. So this is a compound data type because it's not only one data, it's a 3 data being put together. But these 3 are of the same type, so it's called array. Okay, this is called array. Another compound data type is what we are going to talk about today. It's called object. So this object in Python, we call it dictionary. So it is a property value pairs, okay, property and value pairs, and it form a object. It form a object. Okay, so this one is the what object is, and it is also a compound data type. So in a object, you may have multiple variable, you may have string, you may have value, you may have Boolean, you may have an array or even a list, or everything inside the dictionary or inside the object. So object is also a compound type. The difference is that array is a data type, but usually array may have the same data type. They are all integers. And object, it is a compound data type. It consists of many data in an object, but it may be of different data type. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
Okay, now we are going to look at the example now. Okay, let's go to the CodePen. Okay, so we are going to use CodePen as our example. So let me go to CodePen. Okay, last time is Liena 10. Okay, so today we are going to create another one called Liena 11. Let's call it objects. Okay, this different project, you should, I have the name so you know what it is. Okay, so this, no, let me save it first. Okay, after I save it, I'm going to copy the basic part from 10 because I want the same, the button for to click main and then the panel. I think we use it for many times, so it's okay. Let's actually copy it over. We don't want to change it. Okay, this part the same. There's a button and there's a message panel is the same. Now let's actually, oh no, I'm sorry, I should save. And then I also would like to copy the CSS part. CSS part is also very simple. It's only a body and then background color page. Okay, that actually the same. This one, I think you know it, so no problem. Let's just copy it. So these two, we have it. So this one, prepare, you click, you will do something and put it on the message. Now we go to the JavaScript. So here we will save. Now this is JavaScript part. Let's actually copy it as well. So JavaScript part, I would like to have the document panel, and then, okay, this one panel, we need this panel, so let's copy this one. The other one, we don't need it because we don't want to have a traffic light now. We don't need that. So this panel, we have it. Let me search for another one. This one is for getting the panel, but we do need to have the function printf print line. Okay, let's actually look for the print line. So let's see here. Let me use the ENR8. Let me see. Okay, so I want this print line function. So let me copy this print line function that we had before. Okay, up to here. Let's actually put it over here. Okay, now we are going to write the function, main function. And whenever we click it, we will run this main function. Okay, so that's it. Here we are well prepared. We have the panel, we have the printf. Okay, we have it already. Now what we would do is that we would demonstrate object. Okay, we'll demonstrate object. So first thing that we want to create an object. Let's create an object. So this object, let's actually have a variable student equals. It is an object, so you use a curly brace, curly brace. It is same as dictionary, so you can put your data field of name. Okay, this one, let's have a string of Vienna. And then let's have the age. I'm not sure what age you have. Let's have 16. Okay, I'm not sure how old you are. So anyway, this one create a student, and the student's name is Vienna, and then age is 16. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to do it. I'm going to type the name and Vienna to message pad. Okay, I'm going to type it. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do. Let me use a document.write. Okay, document.write. Let's save. Let's do document.write. Okay. So document.write, let's do type a student. Student is the object, so you can do student.name. Okay, just do it like this. So you have an object. This object is called student. So student has two data field, name and the age. So now I want to use a student.name. It's an object using dot. That means the data field of name, you will get this one. So the Diana will be printed. So right here, let's actually click it. Click it. It actually not doing anything. Let me see. Main notify. Main notify. Main notify. Why main notify? MAIN. Why main notify? Function main. Main notify. How comes main is notify? Something is wrong. Okay, let me see. So function print line, that's actually there. We have document.get element, that's actually okay. So function main, how comes this main is not defined? Let me save one more time, okay? And then click still, it still has an error. It's still uncaller reference error main notified. Let me see. How comes main notified? Okay, let me clean it. Okay, function main. Let me clean it everything. Maybe something wrong inside here. Let me clean this one. Let me put nothing. Let me just put an alert. See if alert will be called. Okay, one more time. Let me try. Okay, so this I'm here is okay. So something is wrong with the student. Okay, something is wrong with the student. So right here, let me open it. So alert is okay. Alert, let's take out alert. So student equals curly brace name. Okay, I think I know what it is. So actually I'm missing this curly brace here. So this one, I think this is semicolon is not needed. Let me see. No, it's needed. I think right here, this name, you cannot use a double quote. Okay. It's different from the dictionary. Dictionary, you need in the Python, you need to have double quote right here. This one you don't. Okay, this one you don't. You just use the data field name. Let's try one more time and then click. Actually, main still not defined. Let me see. Let me see here. Let's see. JavaScript object. Okay, let me check JavaScript object. I may make some mistake. Let me see. You have constant name, comma. Okay, let me see. I think I make a mistake. This one, I think I make a mistake right here. This one should be comma. This one should have no semicolon. It's just like this. So value is separated by comma. Okay, so I make a mistake. It's not a semicolon. So that's okay. I think you put the double quote should be fine. So let's try this one more time. So it's actually, it should be property, column, value, comma, property, word value, column value, okay, something like that, and curly brace, okay, and at the end you have a semicolon. So this one define a student object. Let me try save, and let's click. Okay, this time it worked. it type out student name. Is okay?
Yeah.
So right here, if I take out of the double quote, if I take out of the double quote, it will still work. It will still work. It still work. Okay. So that's the difference. If you are in Python, so right here, let me see. So Python must have double quote for property. Okay. And JavaScript is optional. Is that okay? Java, so you have double quote or no double quote, it actually doesn't hurt. So here let's actually have another one called document.write. You can also write the student's age. Okay, I use capital, so need to be capital. So now Liana 16, okay? So inside here, if you want to have a line separator, so you actually can add the BR to change line. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are what we want to see to define an object. So an object is defined by object name equals a curly brace property column value, comma, property column value, and have several of them, and then curly brace and semicolon. Okay, this create an object of the student. Okay, this create an object of the student. So this one is a object. Okay, well, this is one way you can create an object. There are some other way you can create an object. So we'll talk about it later. Okay, we'll talk about different other way to create it as an object. So here, let's actually see, we have an object like this. So right now, if I say student that GPA equals 3.8. Okay, and then let's do console log. Console log who? Console log student. So originally you had two property, name and age. Now you add one more property of GPA and you want to show the data. Okay, and this one we do not do the type to the message pad. This one we actually show to the console log. So let's do save and let's click and run. You have these, but you need to use the console log. So when you do console log, you actually print out your object. Your object right now has name, Liana, age 16, GPA 3.8. So right here, you can add more property whenever you need. Is that okay?
Yeah.
You can add more property than at any time you need. Let's add more. Okay, let's add more. So you may have student that let's actually use subject. Okay, the favorite subject let's actually have math. Okay, so let's assume you like math. So you save and you click again. So right here it add one more data field called subject math. Okay, and now you may delete the data field. Okay, let's actually see. You may not like to have subject. Let's assume that. Okay, so it's object remove property. To remove property, you will do delete object and property in the array format. So that actually, when you don't like a property, now you can add whatever you want. And we do console log. And after that, we will delete it. So let's delete students Which property you don't like subject, so let's delete subject. After that, let's do console log again. So let's save and let's click me. So you see, before the deletion, you have a subject. Now your subject is removed. Your subject got removed. So right here, we are talking about this one is removal of a property. So this Liena 11 talk about what is a object and how to add a data field and how to delete a data field. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is the object. Now let's go back to so this one is talking about an object. Okay, object. Now before we go to the other object, let's think about, may I create an object and initially the object is empty? Can I do that? Means that there is no property and no value in the object. Is that okay? Yes, it's okay. So let's actually do it on the console. Okay, let's do it on the console. Let's assume that you want to create a variable. Okay, this one called student2 equals new object, nothing. So this one you create an object and it's undefined. So let's do console.log student2. So right here, you have empty in student2, nothing there. Because there's no property, you use an object. You create an object, but this object is empty. Is okay? Hello, is okay?
Yeah.
Right here on the left-hand side, this object is a name and the age. But this one, this object created by a new object function, you create an object of no property, no value. So with that, we would do student2.age equal 40. And then after that, you do console.log student2. Now you already add the age in there. So we do student2.name equals Tom Cruise. And then we do console.log student2. And then you get a student2 who has age of 14, name of the Tom Cruise. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Again, if you don't like, you can delete student2 name. And then you do console.log student2. So this adding a data field or deleting the data field is the same as previous example. Now the name is deleted, only age left. So a object is a collection of property, value, property, value, property, value. You can add more property and value into it. You can take out more property and value from the object. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
So we can create an object without value using new object that would be creating the new object of no data field like this. So this is the second way you can create an object. First way, you can create an object with the property value, property value. You can also create an object without property and value, and then you add it later. Now let's try another one. Let's try variable student3 equals curly brace, curly brace. So this one same as new object because this one you assign an empty object to student3. and then you do console.log student3, you got the curly brace. That's an empty object. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Now your student3, you add one data field of name equals Arial, and you do console.log student3. You got the name of Arial there. Remember right here, I'm using student3 and then using array format. So if you do student3 dot name and the student3 bracket quote name, these two are the same. These two are just saying the data field of name in the student3 object. These two actually you do this way or the other way, either way or this way, either way work in the same way. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
So now we can create an object using variable a equal curly brace. That's one way. Second way is you can use a variable a equals new object, and then this you will also create this. You can also do variable a equals curly brace property of name, and then a comma age, and then 15, and then curly brace semicolon. So this is 3 different ways to create object. So we already covered this creation of object for 3 ways. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, now we are going to go for the 4th way to create an object. Okay, we are going to go for the 4th way to create an object. Okay, this is 4th way that's actually continue from here. Okay, right here. Now here I would like to actually create a function. Okay, so here I'm going to create a function. Let me see. Let me check my note. Okay, let me check my note. So now let's go through the note before we create the 4th way to create object. So object, everything in JavaScript is an object. So it has property, value. Okay, that's what we know. And then it is object notation. So JavaScript object notation is called JSON. And JSON also useful in Python. And Python dictionary has one-to-one mapping with JSON. Okay, so we talked about it already. So every object has a keys and or property and value. So it's a key value pair. So key sometimes called property. So key value pair, and each one of them we call it an attribute. Okay, so that we know. So you can use a new object to create a new object of no data field, and you can add a data field of tested, and you can also delete it. Okay, so that we know this is new object. And in a way, if you don't put the new, you just do object equals that will also work. Okay, this new or no new actually doesn't matter. Okay, next one, we are going to create a function. Okay, so this function, we will actually create a generator function to generate an object. So this is a function called make a BT node. Okay, let's use an example. So now sometimes you may want to create a student. Okay, just like you are in Python, we can make a student using function. So right here, let's create a function. So here, let's have a function Okay, here that's actually called make a student. So make student, you will give them two things. You will give them name and give them age. Okay. And then right here, you will create a new object. So you will have a variable obj equals new object. Okay. And this obj, this object's name will be equals name. Then obj's age will be equals age. And then you will return this obj. So you create object and then you return it. This one will make a student. This function is to make a student. Okay, so now let's look at the make student. So here I'm going to use this make student function. So I say I would have a student 4 would be equal make student of Brian and 22 years old. And let's console the log the student 4. So this is the fourth way to create an object using the function to generate it. Okay, go. So let's have the console. So the console create a object of the Brian and age. So this is number 4 way to create an object. This one is to create a function. That function will create an empty object, and that empty object you add the name and age to it, to the object, and then return that object. So that object of the student will be returned. You get a new student by doing that. It's okay?
Yeah.
In a way, this one we can reuse it. This one is actually more convenient. So right here we can reuse it. So let's reuse it. So here let's do console log. I'm sorry, let's do student 5 equals next student. Arrow 44. And let's do console log student 5. So that function used to generate student 4 and student 5, you just put different name and age over there. It would be able to generate different object. Now, Brian is print out here. Carol is console log here. Is okay?
Yeah.
This is how you create using this next student. Okay, now this is actually using the make student function. So this one, sometimes we call it a generator function. You generate an object, okay? You generate an object. Now we actually, sometimes we may want to use a constructor. Constructor function, let's do function. Let's call it student. And then that has a name and the age. And then this function has the name and the age. And right here, this one, this that name equals name. This that age equals age. Okay, so this one is different way to write it. It's different from this next student. You have this student. Now let's try this one. Let's have the student 6 equal name student. Last time we have empty object. Now we use a student. So this one is called Daniel. So that function is a constructor function. I will construct a new student new student will call this constructor function, and the constructor function will return a object whose name is name, whose age is age. So name was Daniel, age will be 13, and we console the log student 6. So this is number 5th way to create an object. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
So let's actually have a summary. First way we create object is directly using the JSON format to write it. Second way to create it is you create a new empty object and then you add more data field to it. Third way you use a curly brace, right? You can also do that. Fourth way you can use a make function, make a new object and return the object. And then fifth way, you create a constructor function, you put a name, and this dot name equal name, this dot age equal age. And this is currently the object that would, when you do new function, that would also create it. So there are 5 different ways to create object. You need to remember all of them. Is that okay so far? Hello, is
Yeah.
that okay so far?
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit complicated, okay? A little bit complicated. So this is object, let's do this, let's actually do this. Let me do the following things. Let's actually do one program that you can practice by yourself, okay? So let's do this. Let's actually create a new project. Okay, now let's actually create a new project. This project called Vienna Trail. This one is called a planet. Okay, planet. So this planet, I'm sorry, I'll say. I will have you to do it later, okay? So you will copy my code later. So let me copy let's copy this button over, okay? The same as previous one. Put it over here, okay, and save. Go back to the 11, copy the CSS part. I don't need you to create something too fancy, okay? Go back to number 12 and put it over there. Okay, we prepare it already. Now we are going to the JavaScript to prepare for the functions. Now let's go to the number 11. So this time we only have the panel and the print line. Let's actually have these two. I don't want to see anything else. Let's copy and go to number 12. Let me copy these two over. Okay, that's it. I'm going to just copy up to here. Okay. So we have a printer and we have the get this document by ID this. So I'm going to write my main function right here. So my main function main. Okay, and my main function here, I'm going to have a function of planet. And then this one has a name and size. Okay, so name and size. So this dot name will be equals name. This dot size will be equals size. Okay. Let me see. No, I changed the idea. I don't want to call it size. I will use a color. Okay. So every planet has a color. So let's see. I'm going to in my main function, I'm going to create a variable Earth. So Earth is a planet. So new planet. And then I'm going to put Earth, capital Earth. And then the color, okay, color is blue. It's okay. Earth is a blue color, right? So let's see. I will have variable. Let's see. Mars. So Mars. So Mars is, I think it is red orange color. So let's call it red color. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's see. Let me see. Mercury planet. I forget the Mercury color. Mercury is like water-like color, maybe. So Mercury planet color. Oh, Mercury is grayish brown. Okay, let's call it brown. Okay, so let's call it. It's called grayish, dark gray or grayish brown. So let's do this one. Go back. So variable Mercury equal new planet. Let's just use brown. Okay, it's dark brown, dark grayish brown. So let's call it brown. So I have 3 planets. Each one has their own property, and I'm using this function to create 3 objects. So this is a constructor function. Okay. So constructor function, there is no new object. If you use a new object, that's called generator function. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, we get these 3, and let's do this. Let's do. Okay. Let's use a for loop. So for property P in Earth. Okay. Then you will do green line E plus colon plus Earth P. This one is called for each property loop. What does it mean? Your Earth, how many property in Earth? Earth has a name and color. So you print out name and the name, color and color. So each property, first you have the name, you print name, property name, and the name, property color and color. Okay, so this one for every property in Earth, you print this. Okay. So this one, let's see, let's actually do click. Something wrong, let me see, something wrong. Main notify, okay, main notify. Why main notify again? Something is wrong, okay, something is wrong. Maybe this one is wrong. Let me use in, okay. Okay, so message name, okay. Now, this one I forget to clean up the messages. So right here, before we do anything, let's do panel note that inner HTML equals empty string. Okay, you clean up the message string. So let's do one more time. This one just clean up the message and okay. So here you have name Earth, color blue. Is that okay? So for every property in Earth, your property has the name and color. So every property in Earth, you will print the name, colon. So colon, let me have one more space. So name, colon space Earth, color, colon space blue. Okay. So this one, I can repeat it. Repeat it for my Mars. And I can repeat it one more time for the Mercury. Okay, go. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to give you all of these. First one, I'm going to copy this one, HTML part. Let me put it onto the Facebook. Okay, this one is HTML part. You can copy it to your location, okay? Copy to your copy. Now let me give you this CSS part as well. This is the same. Okay. These two, I just want you to copy. There's nothing special. Okay, third one, I'm going to let you read and type the JavaScript. So first, type this portion and this portion. Is okay?
Yeah.
Once you finish, let me know. I'm going to pull down to let you copy the constructor and main function one by one. It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you work on it, okay? Let me know when you are done up to here or to here. So today we are practicing the constructor and also the generator. Okay. So first one, let's practice the constructor to build an object. Once you are done up to here, let me know. I'll pull it down. Okay.
Okay.
Are you done?
Almost. I'm done.
Okay, let me pull it up a little bit, okay? So now work on the constructor function. Okay, and then put something like main function and one for each loop. The three for each loop is similar, so I think you can repeat it. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Just Earth change to Mars, something like that. And then I will let you run to see if it work or not, okay? And I will check. I'm sorry, right here I do not have not changed it. I actually do not have the Earth. This one should be Mars. I did not change it. I'm sorry. Let me try one more time, okay? Okay, that's good. So let me pull back. Okay, so do constructor and main. Let me know if you are done, okay? So right here, we are talking about the object. So object and array are two most important data types, a compound data type in JavaScript, okay? Last time we talked about array, this time we talk about object. So when you do project, you will need them, so still very important. Are you down to here already or no?
Um, yeah, but it keeps giving me the red exclamation mark.
I'll see you later, okay? Okay, let me do this. You share your screen now. Let me see. Click on the red exclamation mark. Let's see what's it. Exclamation mark. Is main not defined means your main program is wrong. Let me see. Let me try to help you, okay? That means something wrong in your main function. Okay, let's actually look at pull it up. So right here, you first have the panel equals document that get element by ID equals panel. That's fine. Function print, function message, undefined panel inner equals this. So I think this is fine, but let's push a little bit here. Okay. Right here, this one, I think here you have curly brace. This one, I think should be. No, don't move. You don't move. You don't move. You don't change, okay? You don't move. Up to here, that's actually, this one is changed down to here, okay? And this one, your else, I
I
think
think it has to be inside.
you have one extra curly brace, that's too much, okay? You have one extra curly brace. Your curly brace is put into the wrong location. So this one up to here, but you do have need one more, but it's right here. You actually you put into the wrong location. So far, okay. And then this one is your planet function. You have this the name and this the color. So this is okay, but make sure you align it. So this one you have to push it a little bit in. So you know it's part of the function. This one you have the main function. So this one you have panel, the inner HTML. So up to here, the rest of them, I don't want to test it. Okay, at this moment, I don't want to test this inside. So let me just do comment it out that it don't bother us. At this moment, that's actually don't let it bother us. But at the end, you need to have an extra curly brace. So let's have a curly brace right here. This one is the marking the end of the main function. So you have to do it this way. Okay, that's fine. That's a save. And let's click. You clean the message panel. So that's correct. Okay, that's correct. So far, correct. Now this one is correct. Now let's open a few more lines. So let's open your Earth line. And up to this one, up to here, let's actually close right here. Let's close right here. We actually have the Earth. We have the Mars. We have the Mercury, okay? And then for each property in Earth, we'll print our planet. We'll print out the property and the value. That's it. Let's save and click. I'm sorry, click. So Earth and blue got printed. Is okay? So far, it's okay.
Yeah.
Now let's do one more. So I'm going to open this one for the Mars. So this one is original Earth that's changed to Mars. Okay, let's save and print. Is okay? So that's work.
Yeah.
Let's actually try another one. That's the last one. And this one we want to change to Mercury. And let's save and run. Okay, everything works now. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go back. So this one you are okay. Now let's actually let me share my screen. So now I'm going to change this constructor is okay. So now I'm going to comment out this function. So planet would become. So right here I'm going to create a new planet function. This one is planet. And then you will still get name and the color, but this one I'm going to use it is as a generator function. So this generator function will have variable obj equals new object, and then obj the name equals name, and then obj that color equals color, and then you will return obj. So replace the original plain function with the new generator function. Okay, and then save and click, you get the same thing. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
Now do on your side. First, comment out your constructor. Second, add this portion in. Okay? Let me keep it at this
Okay.
page right here. Okay? Keep it at this page right here. Once you're done, let me know, okay? Are you done?
Mm,
Comment out this part, add this part. Are you done?
yeah.
Okay, show me. Then we are going to go for the next project and we are going to close this today's talk, okay? Save and click for me. Let me see. Save and click me. Okay, good. Okay, now we have been able to create object. That's good. Okay, now we are going to talk about array of objects. Okay, array of objects. Array of objects means that you may have multiple objects in an array, and we'll deal with it. Now, let's do it, okay? So let's actually first, let's create a Vienna 13. This one, I will have you to work with me, okay? This one is called it GPA. Okay, so the first part, I'm sorry, let me save it. First one, the HTML part, I'm going to still copy from this number 12 parts. So HTML, CSS, no change. We don't plan to change. We already have good one, we don't want to change. So this is saved. Let's go back to the 12, copy the CSS over as well. Okay, copy to the 13. Okay, now third part, I'm going to copy the JavaScript for the function part. So go to the number 12. This one, I would like to copy the panel and the print function is up to here. Copy. And then go back. Put it right here, okay? And now we are ready. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Copy up to here. Then next one, we have the function main. Okay, function main, no problem. And then inside here, the first thing I would like to do is to panel that inner HTML equals empty string to clean up the message panel. Okay, that's it. Now, what we want to do is that we want to create a function to create student. So here, this one let's have a function, and then let's call it max student. Okay, no, let me use the generator function called student. So student may have name, math, English, and physics. So this name equals equals name. This math equals m. This eng equals English. This phy physics equals p. So far, okay.
Yeah.
This is to create a student. Now, I'm going to create an array of students. Okay, I'm going to create an array of students. So here I will have student s equal empty array. Because right now I have no student, right? So first one, I'm going to create a student 1 equals new student. New student or what? New student, you need to put a name in. So that's called Arial Math is 98, English 94, Physics 84. So that's one student. So that's two student number 2 equals new student, lowercase student. This one that we have B Brian, and that's have 82, 67, 94. So let's have a student 3 equals new student. This one that we have C Carol. And then this one will be I'm sorry, this is not student 1. This one should be student, it's an array, it's a student 0. Is that okay?
Yeah.
These are array of students, so each one is a student created by the student, new student. So here this one has have 65, 77, 99. Okay, so you do have 3 students. Originally, this is empty array. Empty array. You start with empty array. And I'm sorry. Originally, you have empty array. And then you add 3 students today. So there are 3 students, Ariel, Brian, and Carol. Okay, now up to here, let's actually do console the log. Student 0. Okay, I'm going to console the log student 0, 1, 2. Make sure the 3 students are created in the right way. So I save and click and then show up the console. So console to have Ariel. Something wrong. I only have Ariel. How comes I only have a console student 0? One, 2. Oh, I'm sorry. Right here, I forget to put this student has a S. I'm sorry, it's an array, so there's a S. Okay, sorry. I miss it. One more time. Sorry. Click. Okay, now we do get the Carol Bryan. Is that okay so far? Let's actually try to use console. We do get the Carol Bryan and the Ariel. Is that okay so far? Hello?
Yeah.
So up to here, is that okay? Then we will do later. So first thing is that this is a print, we finish the print. Now next one is you create the panel, the inner right here, and then create a function of the student. After you create a student, you create student equal this. Is that okay so far? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Until you finish the console log. Okay, so let me put it right here. So you create a student and then put this. And then console log, I think you can do console log, so you don't need to look at it. Let me just put it right here. Okay. Create it. Once you are done, let me know. I will check. Okay. We are going to go for the next step. So far we are creating 3 students. Each student is one of the array element. An array of 3 students. Each student has 3 subjects. Are you okay so far?
Yeah.
Let me know when you are done or you have trouble, okay? So we enter 3 students' record into the system. Ariel, Brian, and Carol. Each one has 3 subjects. Next one, after you finish, we are going to calculate the GPA for each student and for the whole class. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Any question? Error?
No.
No error? Okay. No error. We'll continue. I don't need to look at it, okay? So if no error so far, we console log 3 data, you see it, then that's fine. I'm going to comment this one out because console log is just for checking. It's only for debugging purpose. So we don't need that. Or we can actually delete it. Let's delete it, okay? Because my screen is small. Anyway, we create 3 students. So next one, we are going to calculate the GPA. Okay, so let's do calculation of the GPA. First one, we would like to calculate the GPA for the student. So here, function, okay. Let's have the function called Q point. And let's enter a score. Okay, so some score, you will return the Q point. So if score greater equal to 90, you return 4.0 because it is a, okay? So if score greater equals 80, then that's a B, so you will return 3.0. If score greater equal to 70, you'll return 2.0. If score greater equal to 60, then you return 1.0. That's D. Okay. Otherwise, you return 0.0. So this is the so-called Q point. Is that okay? Q point is calculated based on your score. So now let's do this. Let's do functions. Okay. GPA. Okay, let's call it get GPA. So get GPA, you get a GPA for a student. Okay, you get GPA for a student. So you get a student, you are going to calculate GPA for it. So here that's created a total Q point, total Q. Okay, so total Q point equals 0.0. Okay, so you will do for variable subject in student. No, I'm sorry. This one doesn't work this way. So you were, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. So we will do variable, let me do this. Let me do, right now you will have this student will have what? You will have, there will be a name and you will have math and then you have English and physics. So you will get a Q mass will be equal Q point and then student that, I'm sorry, I hit the wrong key. Students mass. Student mass being passed to the Q point, you could create something called QM. Q point for math and Q point for English equals Q points. I'm sorry, something wrong with my typewriter. And here we have the student and then the subject of English. Last one, we have QP equal Q points for students. Physics. So you have 3 Q points, and then you want to return the GPA. You having those Q point, so you return QM plus QE plus QP divided by 3.0. So far, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you are going to go through the 3 students. So you are going to do for variable I equals 0, I less than students as the length. Go to every student. Okay, so you will do GPA, get GPA for student I. Each student you will get GPA and that would be stored at the G. Okay, let's create a different variable name. Let's call it that G. Okay. Is okay? It's a local variable, so that G is okay. And then you would do, let's do green line students I the name plus colon space plus G. So you will, by doing this, you will list down every student's GPA, name, GPA, name, GPA, name, GPA, name, GPA. So let's just save and let's click. So these are the GPA. It's okay. So there is a way to do rounding. We'll do rounding later, okay? Rounding later, but right now, just don't worry about rounding. This is too much, too many digits. But there is a way we can do rounding. Let's do rounding later, okay? So right now, what you need to do is to create a function called Q point and get GPA. After you get GPA, you write this for loop. So before you write this for loop, finish these two functions first. Okay?
Okay.
Here I'm going to try to teach you how to create data. What data? Your data is an array of three students. Each student has three subjects. And then from each subject, you calculate for the Q point. And then for each student, you calculate each Q point and then divide it by 3, you got a GPA. And then you print out GPA for each student. Okay? So finish this Q point function and get GPA function. So this will be a complete example for array and object and how to use it for a database, a simple three-student database. That's what we did today, okay? And in your project, you may need to do something like this often. You may need to create an array of student, array of animal, array of something, and then calculate the total average of something. Okay, that's actually a lot of these will be done in your project. Okay, so this is very important. Once you are done for this, I'm going to pull down to let you work on the for loop to calculate each student's name and GPA. Okay. So let me know when you are done with this Q point and get GPA. Any question? If you are done, let me know. Okay. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to move down. Now work on this for loop part. After you choose student for I equals 0, I less than a student, the length, that means they go through every I and then you get the student I's GPA and assign it to G, and then print the student name and G. Okay. Are you done?
Almost.
Okay, are you done?
Mm,
You have error?
yeah, it says, I just forgot a curly bracket.
Hmm. Make sure you match well, okay? Is that okay now, or
Mm, there's still an error.
let me check, okay? Show me. Your error is, let me see. Can you give me the right to control? Unexpected token, unexpected token. Where is your main function? Your main function is gone. Your Q point, where is your main function? No, this is not in the function. This actually, function cannot be inside the function. This actually is wrong. Cut it. You put it in the wrong location. This actually need to be outside of the function. It should be here. Okay? Two functions. These are functions. It's a separate function. You cannot put inside the main function. So this is a console log. This things up to here. This need to be deleted. The student, you don't repeat. So this portion, you don't repeat this part. This is the same. So you delete it. So you need to align these. So push, 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 push. How comes you don't have the HTML and CSS? You need to copy it back. Where is your CSS? You need to copy it back. And the error is print line not found. So you did not copy the print line. You do not have the print line. You also don't have the console, the log. So you are missing this part. Okay.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you did not set up your page. Anyway, that's okay. Now we are back. Now this one. Next one is that this is ugly. We want to have 3.67. We want to run it. We want to run this one out. Okay, so how can we do that? This one, we cannot run it this way. So that's when we run this one, the first thing we would do is that, let's do this. We have 3.66666666. That's times 100, you become 366.666666. And then this one we do rounding. You become rounding to 3.366, and then we divide it by 100. Then that would be 2 digits. So right here, let's do this one times 100, and then do mask the rounding, and then divide it by 100. Okay. Can you do that?
Yeah.
When you are done, let me know.
I'm done.
Okay. No, you're done. That's actually next one. We do sometimes we may want to calculate the whole class's mass GPA. Okay, so here let's do function. Okay, average GPA. So you will pass the whole class in. So it's a students. Okay, let's call it class. No, let's call it people. And then subject. Okay, so the whole class is the students. Let's call it students. So you pass the student in and the subject you want to have. Now you will do this, you will do, so once you have the student, you do for variable I equals 0, I less than students length, go through every student. So you go to every student. So here again, you need to have the total Q, okay, equal 0.0. Then here that Q equals Q points. Okay, Q point of what? Of student I's subject. So mass, you will be calculating the mass Q point, and then you calculate a Q point, and then your total Q should be equal to, should be plus equal Q. Once you are done, you will return the total Q divided by students, the length. That's the number of students you have. Your total Q divided by the number of students, that would be the average GPA. Okay? So this one is the average GPA for the whole class on a certain subject. So here, let's do this. Let's do mass GPA equals to student. Here it actually is average GPA of the students and math. And then we will do green line math plus math GPA. So save and run. So math GPA is this much. And we will also do math the run of this one times 100 divided by 100. Okay, that's the total class math GPA. So you can do the same thing for English and do the same thing for the physics. Is that okay? So now you need to do this one, this get GPA for get GPA, no, not this one. You need to do this get every GPA for student and subject. So go through every student and calculate the Q point for every subject. And sum the Q point for every student's subject and divide it by the total number of students. You will get the GPA for every student in that class in math or in English. It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay, on this one. Once you are done with this function, I will roll down to the final line to print out the math part. Also remember how I did the rounding part, okay? Very important. Are you okay now? Are you done with this function already or no?
Yeah.
Done?
Yeah.
Now let's go down to do these two parts. So these two I can copy forward. I can do also for English GPA. I can also do for physics. Okay. Okay, so they would. And here I have an extra print line to make sure that I have the extra line separating them. Okay? Is that okay? Now
Yeah.
to this portion. You work on one first, make sure you work and you copy to 3 and change the name. So that will calculate your math GPA, English GPA, physics GPA. So this program can calculate the GPA for a student and also for a subject. Because you have Ariel, Brian, Carol, and you have math, English, and physics. So Ariel GPA is this one, math GPA is this one. Okay. It is a table. It is a table. If you are done, let me know, okay? I'll check it and then we are done for the day, okay?
Okay.
So today we learn object and we learn an array of student and we learn the array of student and we can make a table and we can calculate the average for column and column average for a row for a student or for a subject. Okay.
I'm done.
Okay. Let me check, okay? You share your screen, let me see. Okay, good. So, okay, any question for today?
No.
Okay, and then today you learn how to build an object, how to add data field into it, how to remove data field from it. You learn how to create a function to generate an object, right? Make student, and then generator for student, constructor for student, and then you actually create an array of students. And then using the array of students to calculate the GPA and also for the student's GPA, for the whole subject GPA, for the column and row GPA, okay? Okay, so that's what you need to learn about making the table and then analyze the data in the table, okay? And that's what we learned today. And we learn array, we learn object, we learn for loop, we learn the prepared data type. So we have the basic for the JavaScript now. So next few chapter we are going to work on the whole system for DOM and starting to talk about more complicated project. Okay, is that okay? Any question about your school? No, that's it for the day. Okay, good night then. Bye bye. Bye bye.